Hello, welcome to my bath. This is so weird, it's taken me so long to set this up where I'm not revealing my nipples to you. So essentially earlier on Instagram I asked if there's any questions. I decided from now on I'm going to do this like tub Tuesday chats maybe. I don't like baths, never have, probably never will, and I figured this is going to be like as good a time as any to do a Q&A, and it might entertain me, might entertain you, because usually I find I hop into the bath, I'm sitting there miserable, willing the time to go on and like watching Netflix or some shit like that. So this can be actually productive. You saw in the intro how I set up my bath. I used some Epsom salt and some essential oils. I'm also going to use this roller ball from Botanical. It's the Flow roller ball. I find it good to kind of just get some like energy, you know, go with the flow. Oh, I wish you could just take a big inhale there and smell what I can smell, because it's divine. Okay, I haven't looked at the questions yet. I don't even know if there are any. Oh my god, there's like... Tommy asks, have I any Christmas tree up yet? No, and I might not put one up. I have one that's like perfectly suitable for an apartment because it's teensy. I got it for a $5 in Argos about 6 years ago, but I usually end up putting it up Christmas week just to have it up. I don't think I'll bother this year. Katie asks, how did I get into influencing? Pardon me while I put on a face mask. I'm using the Ren Ultra Comforting Rescue Mask because I don't know about y'all, but my skin is really struggling with the weather change and the central heating and all the rest. So I'm gonna put some of this on my face. Yeah, how did I get into influencing? Great question, Catherine. Okay. So 5-6 years ago, I found myself at a loose end. I was off work sick and I wanted something to pass the time. I saw the likes of Candy Johnson, Jaclyn Hill doing this like thing where they review products and share their recommendations, and while I was definitely far from beauty expert, I thought, there's no one Irish doing this. So I bought a secondhand camera for like 100 quid and I started filming myself. My old videos are so cringe, but sure, looking back on any content of ours is cringe, including like Bebo photos and Facebook photos, so I just embrace it as part of my past. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, next. How old are you? You look so young. Well, I will certainly take that. I am 34 years of age. Do you like Christmas? I would take or leave Christmas, to be perfectly honest with you. Ever since I found out, it's never been the same and I've never truly gotten over it. And I'm not being dramatic, I'm being genuinely serious. Name one thing you cannot live without. If you mean that in like a facetious, shallow way, I'm gonna say my phone, and I hate that that's my answer, but it is the honest answer. However, if you meant that question in a less surface level way, I would say nature. I thrive when I'm in nature, I love it. I always freak myself out on walks that I'm going to get murdered. How are you not? And then the cat emoji where they're really frightened. You can't live life like that. You'd never leave the front door of your house if you were to live life like that. I am obviously cautious. I will tell people where I'm going. I will sometimes send WhatsApp locations to friends just so someone knows where I am. And I always have a set of keys with me, and that can turn into a weapon if needs be in a pinch. And I always have my phone on me. You just have to box smart, look after yourself, and hope for the best, I suppose, which is like shit that we have to do that as a society and as women, but unfortunately that's the society we live in. Did you ever consider living outside of Ireland for a time? If no, why? Yes, actually, myself and a past partner did consider moving continents and it just didn't work out, and I'm kind of glad that that's the way things panned out. God, things would be so different now. I'd be on the other side of the world 5 years now if that hadn't panned out. Mad. Wouldn't it be class to have like a crystal ball that you could look into, that if you'd gone down a particular path where you'd be now? That'd be really fascinating. Have you stopped yoga? You inspired me to start years ago. Yes, I haven't set foot on my yoga mat for about, Jesus, 8 or 9 months now. I just fell out of love with it, and I hate to say this, but it is the truth. I've suffered from my back since I was in a car accident 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, almost exactly. And I took up yoga a few months after that in hopes of alleviating my back pain. And since I've stopped yoga, I've had no lower back pain whatsoever. So I wonder, was I overstretching my lower back muscles and that was like aggravating my pain? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep rolling with those punches because it seems to be working out for me and my posterior chain. Posterior chain. How are you really feeling? I had this conversation today with a friend. I am really, really happy lately. I can't even explain how or why or the reasoning. I'm just incredibly content in myself, in my life, in my mind, in my everyday routine, which is not actually a routine. I'm doing really, really well, and I hope others are too. If I could just give everyone a slice, I'd love to, but I have to preserve my own pie. Have you tried cloth pads? Yes, I wasn't a fan. I'm a cup gal. I actually have my cup in right this very minute. My period's just about finished, so the next time I take it out, it should be empty, but I'll see when I take it out. I'm not going to do that here on camera. When you go on your long hikes, do you ever get cut short? Followed by the poop emoji and the 3 water droplets emoji. No, but it is a fear of mine that someday it might happen. I don't know what it is. When girls go hiking and they go off the beaten track to do a wee, I'm kind of like, I'm not built for that. If I pull down my leggings and my knickers and I squat and I do a wee, it will go everywhere. It will go all over the knickers, all over the leggings, all over my socks, all over my boots. I just don't think I'm built for peeing in the woods. Does anyone else feel like that? Or maybe is it my anatomy is just a bit feckin' weird? I do have a shiwi. I haven't used it yet. So yeah, luckily I haven't been cut short to do a poop or a pee, but I'm sure it will be only a matter of time. However, I only ever go out for a couple of hours. I don't go out for like 5 and 6 hour hikes. That would be tricky. If you met the right person, would you reconsider having children? I don't know. It's one of those cross that bridge when you come to it kind of situations. I think it's a pretty big ask to ask someone to essentially change their entire life for someone else. I feel like asking someone to have children is a bigger ask than marriage, like way, way bigger, because you can get out of a marriage, you can't get out of being a parent, really. So it'd have to be a very serious discussion. Must have cash beauty product is definitely the Rust Nude lip liner. Get it, you will not regret it. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. It's unreal and it's gone with every single lipstick I've ever worn. Love it. I'm slowly trying to go vegan. Any tips for staying satiated and not going hungry? Focus on more high protein plant foods such as lentils and beans, and if you'd like some meat replacements, I recommend the Thanks Plants sausages. I think they're excellent and they're Irish made. They're not cheap, but you get so much protein in them that one sausage added into your meal will be like sufficient. So yeah, up your protein and maybe your fats as well. Do you have AirPod Pros or just normal ones? Not sure which to get. I just have the normal ones. However, if I lost mine and I had to reinvest, I would probably, and I hate that I'm saying this, I'd probably go for the Pros because I hear they're streets ahead of the normal one. They are so expensive though. It's really a tough pill to swallow, but I usually buy them as a business expense, so it doesn't sting as much. I like this one. How did you learn to be yourself and not compare yourself to others? It's empowering. I feel like I'd be lying if I said I never compared myself to others, or I'm always 100% myself and don't ever self-doubt. It's just turning 30, man, it's just been a pivotal thing in my life, and I've spoken to other friends who've turned 30 and they're like 100% something clicks, something changes. And I don't know, is it, are you more aware of your mortality, the fact that you're not here for, not that you're not here for a long time longer, but you become so aware of the fact that things that happened in secondary school didn't really matter in the long term, things that happened in college didn't really matter in the long term, things that happened a few years ago in your job didn't really matter. It's, yeah, I think you just get more perspective when you hit your 30s. So turning 30, highly recommend. Is your vibrator a daily thing? No, I would say on average maybe every second day or third day. A lot of people asking if I'm happy, which is really nice. And yeah, for anyone who did ask if I'm happy, I I wouldn't say I'm ecstatically happy all the time, but as a general rule, I'm very content every day. Between content and very happy every single day. So I'm really hoping that continues. A guy I've been texting has stopped texting. Meant to go on a date Thursday. Should I text him? Nah. Tell us something random we don't know about you. The first thing that springs to mind, it's only because I had a conversation about it yesterday. When I was about a year and a half old, I convulsed after having vaccines. I'm not anti-vax, I'm pro-vax, FYI. Have you tried the Body Shop's ginger shampoo for itchy scalp? I have, did not like it, did not work for me. Do you think the influencer industry is becoming oversaturated? You're my fave. I mean, could you say the same for the soccer industry? Could you say the same for any industry? No, I think there's always room for more, especially if there's unique personalities and unique types of content coming to the forefront all the time. So no, I would say definitely not. Thomas, and I think I know who that is. He said one of our school teachers' son plays senior football for Kildare. How fucking old does that make us feel? Yeah, a bit. I must look him up actually. Who is he? I'll follow you, tell a creep. Which is the older sibling? You were Hillary. There must be no difference. There is actually a pretty big difference between us. I'm 5 years older than Hillary. Nearly 6 years older than Hillary. How do you motivate yourself to get out for walks on a day where you just want the sofa? This is a tricky one, and I get this a lot of the time, probably a lot more than I portray on social media. Honestly, I try and when I'm finished a walk and I'm feeling so satisfied and so happy and just rejuvenated, I try and implant that memory and how good that feels into my brain and remind myself then when I'm feeling very lazy, you're going to feel so good after this. Now sometimes I don't feel that great. If it's been pissing rain on me and I'm sniffly and snotty, sometimes I don't, but most of the time I'm like, yeah, I'm really glad I did that. It's a tough one though, and I think that has to be intrinsic. I don't think there's anything I can tell you that's going to really help you in that regard. You just have to remember how good it feels afterwards. Did you get yourself an advent calendar? No, I didn't. How much would you spend on a new partner for Christmas? Is 80 to 100 euro stingy? I would say no, but I try and go really thoughtful. I wouldn't have a problem with spending like 20 euro on a partner for Christmas as long as it was super thoughtful. What are your plans for Christmas? I'm going to hopefully get home to my family. We're gonna have a nice family meal out a couple of days before Christmas, and then Christmas Day we're gonna get up in the morning, open presents, have a lovely breakfast, and then dinner, and spend all day playing games, having some drinks. It's gonna be so much fun, I think, I hope. How long did the transition to being plant-based fully take? It was instant. I watched a documentary on like, I think a Thursday evening, and on the Friday morning from then onwards I was fully plant-based. Do you get lonely solo traveling? I want to go but scared to go alone and friends are coupled off. Oh girl, Kira, I know that feeling, but you will be terrified when you go to the airport on your own that first time. You will. Your stomach will be in a knot. You'll feel like your stomach's gonna fall out of your butthole. But then once you're on the plane, if you're anything like me, you'll suddenly feel so empowered because, I mean, it's time to embrace it now. You can't really go back, and it's like what I imagine a bungee jump would be like. Once you've just taken the jump, you almost feel at peace with the decision you've made, do you know? So I hope that helps, Kira. Have you left your job? No, I have not. I work full time. Goals for 2021, get vaccinated. Get vaccinated for COVID is definitely one of my top goals for 2021. Other than that, hopefully get to travel a bit, maybe go on dates. Yeah, I don't have any tangible goals set, but that might be coming up in a few weeks. Did you attend college after school? I'm just curious, currently struggling my ass off in final year. I did. I went to Trinity College where I studied Irish and French for 1 year, and then I decided that was not for me, so I dropped out. A question for pre-vegan Laura, King or Tato? I was always a King gal, and I always will be a King gal. I don't think Tato holds a flame to King, to be honest. When did you get your nose pierced? Was it sore? I got my nose pierced 20 years ago when I was like 14. And I can't remember how sore I was at the time. And the hole has never closed up. I've always been able to get jewellery back through it, which is bizarre because apparently it does close up quite quickly once you take out the jewellery, but it just doesn't for me. Do you ever eat takeaways? Yes, I do. Thai food is one of my go-tos. Indian pizza. Not a big chipper gal, never have been. How was the ASAP skincare? I actually have the face wash there somewhere. I really love the gel cleanser. I really love the SPF moisturizer. And those are the only two I've really tried consistently, but I really like both of them. Recommendation for dry lips. This is actually a complete coincidence. I didn't know about this beforehand. The Dr. Paw Paw ointment. This is the super duper jumbo size. I keep this beside my bed for my cuticles on my lips before I go to sleep. This is amazing. I have yet to find something as good as Dr. Paw Paw for lips. And when I first got it, I assumed it was going to be kind of like Vaseline, but no, there's something magic in that. It's unreal. If you weren't a trans sponsor, what do you think you'd be doing for work? I reckon I'd be a teacher. Or maybe a psychiatric nurse. I think I'd be really good at that. Okay guys, we're at 20 minutes. I'm going to cut it there. I hope you enjoyed having some bath time with me. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. That really helps me out, and I might continue to do tub talks. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next video. Bye. Mwah.